Hi, good afternoon. This is Gaetan again. We continue our classes. Today we have steamed vegetables. I know, steamed vegetable? Really? Well, really. Steamed vegetable can be very tasty as long as we have the proper flavor and herbs combination with the vegetables. This recipe comes from a deli restaurant in New Jersey. I believe the name was the Manhattan Deli in New Jersey. I think it was in Union City, New Jersey. I was there twice, one to my recollection in 2016, and maybe the first one in 2011 while I was traveling in New Jersey, and that place was attached to the hotel where I was staying. And they have a dish called the Heroes Veggies. And we looked at it on the menu, and that was one of the very rare things which looked like vegetarian. So when we tell the server that we were vegetarian, we were three of us at the table, he made sure that there was no chicken stock, and it was delicious. So we came with a dish, and since that time I love that dish. And everything I prepare that dish for any of my guests, they love it. And I gave the class in 2018 at the Science of Spirituality in September, and also people enjoy the recipe. Once again, I'm a simple person, I believe, and I'm doing simple things, and you will see it's quite simple. So I have as veggies today, I have a number of roots like carrots, parsnips, and rutabaga. And I have a number of veggies like onions, celeries, and then I have a cabbage, which is a Napa cabbage, and I have broccoli. You can add any vegetable you want. I will not recommend to add potato, for instance, too starchy. But if you want to put potato, it's fine with you. You can put maybe sweet potato or yam. Yam is a little bit more solid texture and has a better flavor. So let's start with the rutabaga. I have here a rutabaga. This is how it's looked like. You have that in your store in the produce section, and you might wonder what the heck is that. It's delicious, and it's a root. It's like somewhat in the family of radish, turnips, but this one is mostly sweet flavor. For using this, I'll cut with a nice knife, cut in two because that's too much for one recipe. I'll cut in another half. I'll take the trims, and then I peel the skin. See, the flesh is almost a beautiful color. The flavor is unique, so you won't get that flavor from any other veggie. Give you the feeling that you're in the country, you're by the countryside. And to make it cook, you make it very thin, like that. So once you do this thin like that, since it's a root, it takes more time to cook. It's like a carrot. It will take more time to cook than onion, for instance, or longer than broccoli, especially broccoli floret. So we cut that first. I'm not going to annoy you with the cutting technique. just to let you know, this is how we start. I'm using a steamer. This is the top of a steamer, and I put the rutabaga. Then I have the carrots, and I trim the carrots about the same thickness, small size. Put that in there. Next, I have parsnip. Parsnip is like a carrot. It's like a white carrot. Has a very sweet flavor. It's very unique. It's both nutty and sweet. And you can give a shot to that. It's absolutely delicious. So I already trimmed my parsnip. And that will be the base layer for the steam seasoned vegetable. We said steam seasoned vegetable. To make it seasoned, there's two things I'm doing. I'm going to mist of olive oil like that. If you want to measure, it's a mist which is like half a teaspoon, and then I will add seasoning to it. One thing which I found interesting as a seasoning is called Spike. It's North America product. You can find that in most of the North American supermarket. It's a mix of herbs and salt. And I will gently put a nice dusting of Spike. I'll put a nice coating of Spike on my layers of rutabaga, carrots, and parsnip. So that's layer number one. I will put that on the steamer, bring the steamer to a broil, and keep going on. Next level of veggies. I have onions. It's cut in little bite size like this, ready to be put with the other veggie. I have the celery. One of the things with celery, you have these nerve here on the outside of the stem of the celery. This is hard to cook. Usually it will never cook, or it will take a long time to cook. When it's cooked, everything else is mushy. So what I'm doing, I'm going to remove this long fiber using a vegetable peeler like this. See how the veggie, you see these string like that. Take this out because it's never going to cook. So when I have everything removed like that, then I have a very nice, there's more. There's a very nice celery. Once I have that done, put that aside, dispose of that, take the trim off, and I cut like this. And I do combine that with the other veggies. Celery, ready to go. Okay, great. Then I have leek. This is a leek. You saw that in the store. I trimmed the head. I removed what was not clean from the leek itself. And the way I cut it, I'll cut in a long way, like that. Keep the roots and wash it. And make sure there's no dirt left between the leaves, especially at the top. So when it's really clean, you check. You can remove the roots like this, and you cut that in sections like this. Here we are. Okay, so that's the leek. That will create another layer along with the onions and celery. Leek and onion goes together very nicely. They have their own flavor. They are very parent flavor wise. It's like somewhat like an onion taste, but sweeter. It's somewhat like a celery, but little, you know, it's in that direction between the two, and it's combined very nicely, the two together. So we have that. Now there's 3 more veggies I would like to use and present to you to complete this recipe. We have here Napa cabbage. It looks like this. This is a half of Napa cabbage. Already cut the cabbage in small pieces like this, about 1 inch by 1 inch or so. And this is ready to create another layer. And finally, I have broccoli floret. They are clean and dry and ready to go. So, if you don't mind, follow me at the stove. I hear the water steaming, and we'll carry on for the balance of the recipe. One herb that worked very well with the root is the rosemary, fresh rosemary. Put that in there. I already have a mist of oil. I already have a seasoning with spike. So let's go for the second layer. We have celery, onions, like that, and leek. Everything goes like that. Getting pretty full in there. Second seasoning, a mist of oil. That's the equivalent of a half of teaspoon or 1/3 of a teaspoon. That not much. If you wonder this is going to be oily, the answer is no, because it's going to drip in the bottom of this pot here. At the end of the day, your dish, your veggies will not be oily at all, and you'll be surprised by that. Herbs, which goes very well with onion, leeks, celery, is fresh thyme. With fresh thyme, I will add salt, like this, and pepper, fresh ground pepper. Is a nice compliment there. The next veggie will be the cabbage. In this case, we have Napa cabbage. Oops, this guy is resisting. And broccoli floret. I think I have just enough room for all of that. As the veggies steam, collapse, that's the word I'm looking for, will collapse and make more room in there. An herb, which is good with that, it's fresh basil. And you spread that over a nice coat of oil. It's a mist, it's nothing, you're not soaking the oil. And one herbs or seasoning herb, which is international. This is by the company Veggies. It's a Swiss company to my understanding. And it's called Herbamar. It's a sea salt and herbs. And I will start seasoning this way, like that, just this layer. As I said, I'm not a complicated person. This is done. We'll wait about 15 to 20 minutes. When you see the color of the broccoli, very bright color, you know you're ready. I open and you see the color of the broccoli. how bright the broccoli is, that's a sign that everything is ready. So I can poke with a fork, and indeed everything is not mushy. Nothing is mushy. It's just cook just to the point where there's a resistance to the teeth, but not like so the veggies are collapsed a little bit, not too much. It's ready to plate. To plate, I'm using plating, and of course you take out the thyme, pieces of it smells so good, you have no idea, unless you try it yourself, you have no idea how good can be Heroes veggie. This is not a flavorless dish, it's a fantastic flavor. It smells so good here. And when you serve that to your friend, it can be a main dish or a main dish served with other protein if you want, or proteins. Oops, I'm overflowing. So I would say that's enough. We see the color we have here. I'm burning my finger because it's so hot, so hot. Okay, I would say that's enough, that's full. So let's take this here. Here we are. This is the dish. You can serve it to your friend as is. It's absolutely unbelievable. One option, it's grated cheese. It's a mix of vegan or non-vegan cheese, mozzarella, cheddar, it's your choice, your favorite cheese. And don't be shy, you can serve that to your friend as is, or with cheese. You can serve that au gratin, and you can have the cheese melted in the broil of your oven. I'm going to do that. I'll be back in a second. It is a quick recipe. Preparation time less than 10 minutes. Cooking time about 20 minutes. You take the ingredient you have in your house and you steam that. And very important, the key point here is the seasoning. If you don't put seasoning, it would be steamed vegetables, no flavor. A dish like that serves 4 people, and you can really enjoy that dish and share that with your friend. It's so easy to prepare, nothing complicated. If you don't have a steamer like I have, you can put in a Dutch oven, you can put a colander, and you put just enough water not to touch the veggies, and in your colander you put the veggie you want to steam. Put the cover over it, steam the same way I just did. If you don't have a steamer like I have, a colander in a Dutch oven will work perfectly. I did try it, it's worked just fine. So let's see what's happened now with our veggies. Heroes veggies au gratin, and that's the final note on this dish today. I hope you enjoy these classes. As I said last time, we will have another 40 some classes coming up in the next 12 months. Enjoy, share that with your friend, invite your friend. If when the COVID-19 is over, have a good party, a great party, have these veggies as a main dish, enjoy the company of your friend, enjoy the dish. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Nice to have you. Thanks for your support and thanks for subscribing. It's free. Bye bye.